Card Consciousness, the Labor Day weekend edition. Props to all you people that work hard out there. I'll pat myself on the back. I'm a hardworking guy. I know Greg Smith, he works hard in many different areas. So thank you to everybody for that. How you doing, Greg?
Fantastic, Mark. I am ready for the right in the middle of the long weekend. I wish I'd have known that FSU and LSU are playing in Orlando tonight. We might have sped our trip up. We're going down there next week, but looking forward to watching that, having a good show. And how have you been, man? It feels like it's been like weeks since we've done this, and it's really only been two. I know you were busy last weekend. How you feeling, man?
Yeah, I'm doing good. Last weekend, the baby horse, Dane Ford, graduated from Embry-Riddle with the Master's in Space Operations. That's the first space operations degree program that's come out. So she's part of that. So we went up to Norfolk for that. It was a good time. Had a really good time up there. Shasta, speaking of the game, people, if you're watching the LSU FSU game, that is Shasta Ford, our media wizard. She's the one doing that broadcast. So if you like what you see on the TV, it's because of Shasta. So she's working hard, and she brought me back a hat from the Little League World Series. So nice. I've been going hatless because I've been rocking that Vivisol. Feeling a little better about what's going on top of the dome. But this Shasta got me this hat, so we gotta wear that bad boy because I really appreciate it. She loves the Little League World Series.
Well, that's a great hat, and I love the Little League World Series too. It's just the things that the kids say, and you can tell. You see it sometimes in MLB, but it's just unbridled joy. And I know you played a lot of ball, and I did too, and I can remember feeling that way.
Yeah, I would have loved to be on there.
Yeah, good for her that she gets involved in that. That's really cool, and that she helps with the production of that. That's a great event every year.
And it shows you how great it is too, because she's gone all over the world, World Cups, Olympics, this, that, the other thing. What's her favorite? Little League World Series.
Yeah,
so, pretty amazing.
Yeah, that's very cool. That's very cool. Well, I've got some cards of the week. I'll go ahead and just bust right into those.
Let's see what you got.
It's football season, and it's September 3rd right now. We got like 4 days until I think the season starts. So I'll kick it off with a couple of football cards. And the first one I've got, it's really not worth a whole lot, but it's a Tua rookie card. It's a Ticket Masters, whatever that means, rookies and stars, probably $1, $2. Just really excited for the season. I hope he can stay healthy. And as I said, he's been taking jiu-jitsu in the off season to try to figure out how to fall right. So we'll see what happens. But just really excited for the season and to see what hopefully he can do with a full year under his belt and the weapons he's got. It's going to be a tough division, Mark, as you know. So we'll see what happens. But you got Aaron in the mix now, and Bills are always very competitive. So hopefully we can be in the mix and we can have a healthy quarterback. This one here I got at the card shop here locally, the LCS. It's a Larry Zonka 1969 stamp. It's got Ron Mix, Jim Nance, some other guy on there. It's his rookie year, so I guess it's considered a rookie card. Got it for $1. I mean, and that's Larry Zonka. So that's a Dolphin legend. So I'm pretty excited about that one. This one here you don't see a whole lot. It's a Kari Yastrzemski, but it's a cloth card. So I guess I don't remember these when I was 7. But 1977, they issued cloth cards, and I guess you'd iron them on or whatever. Iron-ons used to be big. So I got that one. That's a good one to add to the PC. And then this one here I got in a sale a few weeks ago for 50 cents, and it's since really been kind of debunked as being a fake. But I don't care. It's a black and white Darryl Strawberry Nestle card. I guess somebody did a photocopy of it. It's a pretty good photocopy. The card stock's right. It just looks cool, and this was a big card. I know when we were growing up, this was one of the big ones to have. So to have that one, just an oddball kind of thing going right into the collection. So, I didn't really have anything big this week. I've got some SGC guys coming. And I've been anointed. I've got a nickname for you today too, as well, Mark. I've been anointed as the Yasmanian Devil. So yeah, that's my new nickname. Apparently, is the Yasmanian Devil.
That was Richard, right?
Good nickname.
Yeah.
Richard. I got to give him credit for it. He just busted that out one night on the messenger. He's like, "You're the Yasmanian devil," and I was like, "Man,
You
that is
are. You
perfect."
are
So
definitely.
that's me.
So yeah, your
So
cards of the week. Yeah, great. Funny, I'm chasing a strawberry out of Ohio and them in those auctions right now. You know, the
yeah,
colored, the real one.
yeah,
So yeah, you're right.
I know, right?
Right on with that one.
It's like,
Yeah, and it's just like your personal favorite. Again, we say every week. Most of the cards that are our favorites are pretty cheap, but yeah.
yeah,
So in honor of football, and then I'll save a couple towards the end. So, well, the big one we'll start out with real briefly. We do a thing called Victory Sunday. Not too many people really get into it on our Facebook page. A few do, but usually Sunday is a day that me and Greg, get into it, roll up our sleeves, and go out hunting cards in the World Wide Web or eBay. And so last Sunday, I got this awesome Jim Rice, Topps Chrome Black Auto. Just love it. I was chasing
yeah,
about 5 different Rice autos, and this was not my first choice, but it's the one ended up winning, and I'm glad I got it.
yeah. You kept getting like sniped at the last minute on those,
Mhm.
and I the the ship was sinking, man. I was like, is he gonna get one of these? And you came up. I thought that was the coolest one, the chrome black. It just
Yeah.
sounds cool,
And that was
So
one in my hand. I was like,
yeah,
oh, but it didn't really translate with the picture. But when I got it, I was like, oh yeah, that's it. So good job there. And
yeah.
then I'm gonna save time because I'm Johnny Buffalo Bill here. So and then I'll get to my other cards. But this is just generally an indication of what happens with me on Sundays when I lose my freaking mind. And this is all a bunch of modern chrome shiny shit that I don't know what they are. So but I'll just Josh Allen with a bunch of buffaloes in behind them, and it's just great, and I love it. I mean, this dopey Josh Allen insert like cereal, like Captain Crunch, Crunch Time, and it just goes on and on and on and on. And they're the only football cards I collect are the Bills. The other ones just get gas straight out the door. Don't care. But yeah, so this is like a typical day for me. Pile comes in the mail, and I'm just like all full of glee and joy because it's the Buffalo Bills. And in fact, me and Greg are going down to Miami for a Bills game. So again, people, we don't have to cheer for the same things or like the same things, and we're gonna have a great time. And Greg's gonna find out the Bills Mafia is cool, and we love everybody. And we just play hard and party hard. But you know what? We're not the guy that's gonna beat you up for wearing a Dolphin jersey. We're gonna be like, all right,
Well, and that's good because I'm planning on going down there and having a fun time
Oh
and
yeah,
probably
be
running my
you,
mouth a
brother.
little.
Yeah, I
And
intend to
hope
fully. Yeah, I'm gonna be lighting shit on fire. I'm gonna be going through tables. I'm gonna be doing it, man. Maybe getting covered in mustard, ketchup. Who knows? We're just gonna
well,
go crazy. We're gonna have a
and
good time.
it's January 7th too, so the sooner we lock in the tickets, probably
Yeah,
the better, just in
yeah,
case.
yeah. Okay.
And
Yep.
maybe we'll get flexed or who knows? I mean,
Oh,
it
we
will be
could get flexed. We could get
that would be
flexed, and we know how much we love the flexers.
so yeah,
Flex.
that'll be a good time. But yeah, let's get popping on seeing how much those are
All
going to
right.
cost because they're only going to go up if
Yeah,
everybody does
I'll
well.
check it out. I'll get on it today.
Okay.
So then the last thing I've been on a roll with Star Wars cards. So I got a couple cards of the week, and
Yeah.
the Mandalorian. This is really cool, and this is kind of like I don't know if I'm gonna put this in my room or not, but this is more than I signed up for. The Mandalorian Chrome. So that would go good in my room because most days, especially that my AC has been broken for 2 weeks in my room, so we got a portable in there to keep the kids cool. But Mr. Ford's dying, and then
The
this
spare
one is
Mandalorian card that'll give you some
oh
joy.
man, I need to bring in a Mandalorian to freaking whip ass and get that AC fixed. So this one I love. Again, buy the card. This is only a 4, but it's an OPC, and we didn't know there was OPC Star Wars cards, but it's the man. It's the man coming out of the mist.
Invaded.
It just and in French it says Invaris, Invaris, OPC. And then on the back, it's again like an OPC baseball card. It's in French. It's avec la puissance, un la dranga, Darth Vader, and so principal, on and on and on. I sound like a hockey player. I'm Guy Lafleur. But
Je tu
so
dis français pour 5 ans, and I don't know any. I studied French for
yeah.
5 years and don't remember hardly any of it.
I know
So
the bad words, so I'm not going to
yeah,
say those. I already said a few bad words today because I just fired up. I'm excited to be here. So PG-13 today, whatever. It's our show. Yeah, so that's it for I've been really into
Well,
Star Wars.
and that kind of leads me into I've got a new nickname for you that I just came up with. I was making breakfast this morning and thought about it, and I'm like, bam, this is a great nickname for Mark. And it kind of ties along in with your Larry Doby thing. You know, Luke Easter, Larry Doby, those are big guys for you, and your Star Wars thing. So I'm going to start calling you Dobywan Kenobi. I think that's perfect. That's a
Dude,
perfect nickname for
I
you.
love it. I love it. I'm gonna get a
Dobywan
tattoo.
Kenobi.
I'm gonna get a
You,
tattoo, man. Somehow like Larry Doby holding a lightsaber instead of a bat. I'm gonna start working. I'm gonna have Harley start designing that. Get that tattoo, Dobywan Kenobi, man. That's awesome.
That's a good one. The
I wouldn't even break
Asmodean
my
Devil and Dobywan Kenobi. I love
I
it.
wouldn't even break my rule about no tattoos where you can see him for that one. Get it right here or something, you know? It's
Well, and you
like,
can always just do a temporary tattoo and just renew it every 3
oh
months or
no, man,
whatever.
I'm all in, man. I'm gonna go all in. I do it. I'm going all in. So Dobywan Kenobi, I love it. Yeah, instead of a bat, a lightsaber. Maybe
That'd be
yeah, we're gonna work
fantastic.
it. We're gonna work that design. I love it, man. I'm
Okay.
gonna get
Okay.
I'm gonna get
That's
that
cool.
inked on, man. It's gonna be awesome. Can't wait.
Absolutely. And those are great cards of the week. And you know, I kind of tried to, you know, I've noticed the last few times I've done my cards of the week, they've kind of gravitated more towards what I'm chasing. And these were just kind of more for me. And I think for you too this week was just more stuff that we really kind of enjoy. You know, I mean,
Yeah,
I enjoy the Yastrzemskis, but you know, you don't want to do that every week. So, you know, those Star
absolutely.
Wars cards are fantastic. And I loved Star Wars when I was a kid. I just kind of after the ones that came out in like 99 and 2000, I kind of just like,
Yeah, they were no good. Jar
yeah,
Jar Binks. No, don't do
right.
not don't coin me Jar Jar or anything. No, I
No,
like
no, no,
Dobywan
no.
Kenobi.
Yeah.
I'm good there. Dobywan Kenobi. I love it.
But yeah, I mean that brings you joy with your collecting, and that's amazing. So
Yeah, absolutely.
I think they're great, and that one
Mhm.
of him coming out of the mist. Oh my
I
gosh.
love that. I never saw it
Yeah.
before. I'm a big fan, and I'm I'm sure it's the Mandela effect. I've probably seen it. I just don't realize it. But that is amazing.
Well,
And
not
again, I
low
don't know
key
why
cheap.
that's a 4. Who cares, right?
Yeah, right.
It's cool.
Exactly.
And like that Mandalorian card, this is only a 7. Who cares? I mean, it's
Yeah,
freaking cool as hell, and it's cased up. It's getting its forever home. It was cheap,
right.
so why not, people? Again, you don't, it's a good topic. Just real quick, like everybody chasing the 10. Like if you're doing something not for investment and it's just for your PC, like I'm not gonna sell that. I'm gonna keep that till I die. So it's a 7. Who cares? I love it. I'm like woohoo, tossing around, having a good time. It's a 7. I don't care. It's
Put
just
a
like
drink on
the
it.
dark. You know what I mean? I just can't get it. I don't understand that mindset of. I don't know. It's just
Well,
crazy.
what gets me, I agree with you 100%. What gets me with that is, you know, you can get 4 9s or 5 9s sometimes for the price of 110.
Hmm.
You know, and I get why some people get in their minds. I guess people who have money to burn just decide they want tens. I'm not one of those people, so
No,
I don't have money to burn, and you know, I sell cards to buy cards, and I sell cards to
right.
and that kind of mentality. It's just all about flipping, and I sell cards. I mean, I'm not going to say that it's not about the money at all, because everybody wants to make money at what they're
All right.
doing, or else it's a waste of time. But I guess at the same time, what I'm getting at is, if you get a 10, I mean, the difference between a 9 and a 10 is so exponential. A lot of times it doesn't make any sense. And if you're just collecting, like you said, a 7 8 is good for me. I mean,
All
look at
right.
my Yaz cards. I've got 5s and 6s. I don't care, because the 10s are 20 times what the 5s and 6s cost. So
All
I'm
right.
out on that. But you know, that kind of brings me to some things I've been thinking about this week, and I don't know if you want to go ahead and talk about stuff you want to talk about this week,
No,
Mark,
go
or
ahead real quick. I'll just chime in and then I got a couple things. But yeah, go ahead. Take it away,
well,
man.
I had a little bit of a run in with a guy the other night. Not in the main page that I help out with, the vintage fire sales page, but on a different vintage baseball cards page. And I, I was looking through, and I was looking for stuff to buy, maybe, or just doing what I do sometimes. I'm just looking through the sites, and came across this guy. His name's Fisher Norris, and I've had a
Out,
couple of,
outed,
huh?
outed.
Yeah, well,
He's been
it is
outed.
what it is. It's
love
all
it.
there in black and white.
Yeah, good. Mr. Norris, you've been outed. We told you what happened, and it has. Go
Yeah.
ahead,
So
continue.
yeah, I'm looking through his site, and he's got like 100, 150, $200 cards in there. And every card that he's posting, the people who are looking at it are asking, can you show us a picture of the back? Can you show us a picture of the back? Now, in the group that I help moderate, if you don't have back picks on anything over $25, we won't approve it, or if we notice it, if it slips through, we're gonna decline it. And I made the mistake, I guess, of asking him. I said, why don't you post back pics of your cards ever? Because this is not the first time I've seen this happen in his sale. And I don't have a personal vendetta against Fisher Norris. He runs his business. He does what he does. He sells some cards, but follow the rules, man. And when you have the moderator, the administrator of the site, chiming in, not me, but the guy that runs the site that it was on, chiming in saying, we've had this issue with you before. Why can't you just follow the rules, I guess, is my question. And that kind of leads me to some thoughts I've had. He chimed in about me and how I, this is the second time that I've jumped in his sale and I'm trying to hijack his posts and blah, blah, blah. And the first time it was for posting it in that group, in our group, and on Twitter at the same time. So he's posting the same cards in 3 different places. And I was actually going to buy one. And I put sold. And he's like, oh, sorry, already sold. And I'm not used to that.
Oh, it's frustrating. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Waste my time some more, Fisher. That's what's frustrating to me is the people are just kind of tone deaf, I think, sometimes with the selling process. And I really, really go out of my way. It's my opinion that if your cards are good enough in that group, there's 50,000 members in that group. There's 35,000 or 32,000 in the group the main group I'm in. If your cards are good enough and your pricing is good enough, why do you need to sell it in 7 different places?
All right.
Because all that's telling me is you're looking for a sucker. So, I don't know, but him not posting back picks is lazy at best, and it's shady and shitty at worst. So, do better, Fisher. That's all I gotta say.
Fisher, come on, man.
Yeah, just do better.
And
I don't have a personal.
Inevitably, just not to interrupt, just real quick, I can talk. And then it usually descends into your eat a sausage, your dick riding, your ball swinging. And look, guys, if you make those comments, that's just juvenile. And B, my response, and Greg will tell you, and anybody who's followed my sales or anything I do know, my response to that is yes, I did, and it was amazing. So you're not going to get a rise out of me. You call me a dick swinger, I'm gonna say, yeah, it was effing great, because that's just juvenile. And you know what? People that do that, good for them. God bless. I don't care. That's hate. It's hate speech. It's ridiculous. So, if you think you're going to get a rise out of me by, question my sexuality or something, you're not, because, I don't care. And nobody.
I wasn't real sure what his motives, because he was blatantly violating the rules.
Yeah.
So I wasn't real sure what his need to pop off at me was, because I was just calling him out on the rule that he broke, that we would remove the cards for, and I'm not trying to throw shade at that group either. They've got their hands full. They've got 4 administrators for 50,000 members, which blows my mind. But the guy that's running basically the only one I ever see running anything is just bouncing around from problem to problem. So I don't blame him either. And he came to my defense.
No, he's a good dude. I know him. Yeah, I know who you're talking about.
Yeah. He's, and I'm not going to say his name, but he is a good dude. He's the only one there I see active. He's good most of the time. So, it just kind of rubbed me the wrong way. It just like, again, do better. You can do better than this. You know how to do this. You're posting it in 9 different places. You know how to do this. So just do a better job. And that's really my rant. It kind of ticked me off, and I feel like I set him in his place, but I think this is the most fired up I've ever been on this show.
Oh yeah. And then I of course I come running in like, people probably don't know, I played hockey in like my 40s, so I come rolling in like I'm, I'm gonna go freaking Derek Bugard or Stu Grimson. I'm tossing the gloves at center ice and getting a good run at. So I see all this going on. So I come running in, and that's probably not the best thing in the world when I come chiming in, because I have a tendency to light it up. So and then I'll back it down and be a peacekeeper. So yeah, sometimes I make my own trouble. But so
Yeah.
it was fun. Yeah, Greg, yeah, we ride together, and vice
Yeah.
versa. Greg's rode in for me a few times. You rode in for me yesterday. Holy cow. I had a sale yesterday, which thank you everybody. Holy cow. Because I'm only doing sales every 2 or 3 weeks, and I'm keeping them small and tight. 'Cause I just don't have the time. But I've been trying to bring some fun stuff and some different energy. And oh my God, my sale yesterday was such a good time. But we did have this one guy in there that was new, and he wasn't getting it, and he cluttered up the whole thing, and it just turned into something. But I'm not going to name him because it all got resolved, and it worked out. But Greg wrote in on me for that one. He's like, I'm coming, brother, because this kid had me completely confused.
Yeah.
I had no
Yeah.
idea. I had no idea what was going on. In his defense, neither did he. So we
Yeah,
worked it out.
you could tell by just the messages you guys had going back and forth that he had no idea what he was doing, and I think he was trying to be funny, but
Yeah.
when you can't do that when you've got 4 or 5 people claiming the same stuff, and he's telling you
Yeah.
he's going to wait as long as possible to pay you.
Yeah, that didn't go
But
over real well, especially the guys. So I don't mind saying on the show. I'm not gonna name him, but I sent him a message. Greg was really impressed with my diplomacy. He's like, man, you can really be a peacekeeper sometimes. I said, look, man, this isn't personal, but you got to understand, I've been doing this a couple years, right? So every sal, my young friend, my little Padawan apprentice, now that I'm Dobywan Kenobi, every sal, bro. Think about it. I have one person that thinks they're a comedian, one person that doesn't pay, and one person that's like pulling teeth. So if I have 16, 17 buyers, think about that every single sale. I said, so now you have the benefit of riding in after me at this for 2 years. So it's I love humor. I get funny. I can be the funniest guy in the room. I love to have a good time. But when it comes to doing a sale, I don't have the time to wait through this anymore because my life has changed. And you are also paying the price for the, let's see, 2 years, one a week, the 175 jackasses that have come before you.
right.
So my tolerance level is way down here. And he got it. He apologized. He totally understood. He said, I didn't think about it like that. And you're right. And I said, and you were pretty funny, but you got to understand that, you're paying the price for all the people that have not, at least that one bad apple, right? So
Right.
this is about a bushel basket full of apples in my case. So it worked out, and yeah, we'll be good. I hope we'll probably end up being BFFs. So
Yeah, and you do seem somewhat snake bit, and I think I'm hoping as you gravitate more towards maybe a little bit
mhm.
higher
Yeah,
dollar stuff, and that can afford you the luxury of only doing it every few weeks too, if you're
yeah,
selling
yeah,
$2 and $3 cards instead of
yeah.
quarter cards. Because I think a lot of people, and this may not sound right, but I think a lot of people who frequent the quarter and the 50-cent sales are kind of on the fringe, maybe
Mhm.
sometimes.
Yeah.
Um, but that guy, like, there's a guy that was trying to off run all your cards yesterday, um, and just it's okay to say no. And I kind of thought it was great that you did, man,
Oh yeah,
because
I
it,
generally do.
yeah, I
So
know you do. I know you do because I mean, you got. I think it's great when you got 50-cent cards or dollar cards out there and people are making offers on those and I'm
yeah,
spending some
yeah.
money.
It's like
That's
forget
what we all
about
do.
it. No,
Yeah,
I'll burn
and,
them.
yeah, exactly. And you're not overcharging. I mean,
I'll burn them on this show. I'll burn them, man. We'll have a good time burning them on this show before I do that.
yeah, I mean, I
So
get it if you're offering 1988 Ray Quinones or something for a
yeah,
dollar, but you're
right.
not. So
No, I never no commons. That's one thing. You'll never see a common in my cell.
right,
In fact,
right.
I let off my cell with that mountain of rookie cards for like $2, and that
Yeah,
Chris,
I missed that.
yeah,
Oh,
Chris Frey. Oh, don't worry, I have more. I'll put them aside for you. I have another pile. I have an exact pile of that. That's the benefit of tonnage. Tonnage hits. What you
yeah,
want? Should I tell my story about my tonnage failure? I mean, that was
yeah. Well, I was
classic.
just getting ready to segue into that for you. I was going to ask you
Oh
about it. So go ahead, man.
man. So yeah. So as y'all know, I get my cards here, get my cards there. I love to get cards on Goodwill. I've told the story. I support a good cause, and I generally do pretty good on it. And there's nothing more therapeutic than spending 2, 3, well, sometimes 4 hours going through 25, 30, 40 pounds of cards. It's a good time. And so I was all, jacked up. I got this box, 20 some pounds coming. And generally, if I don't see anything decent, I won't bid on it. But this was just a box, 20 some pounds. And so there were no stars showing or anything. And everything was stacked in there so nicely.
You broke your rule, Mark.
Yeah, I broke my rule. I bought what I didn't see. But it was so stacked nice. I'm like, there's no way this has been rifled through. Because when the cards are in there tight and just laying, and you can tell when they've been rifled through. I will show you my, my sale box.
Like
and it's like,
box.
Right. Our boxes, our sales boxes, the cards are pointing every which way, and we've been going through it. And so you see something packed. Tell you, that was a 25-pound box of cards. I'm like, oh, it's going to be good. So I get the box, I send Greg a picture, and I'm like, yeah, the cards came. This is amazing. And, I'm starting to fish through it. So I go through a couple pounds, that's about 400 or 500 cards, and I got nothing. I mean, I'm not talking about like, I got nothing. I mean, as I sent Greg a message, I'd kill for a Juan Gonzalez right now. Nothing. So I'm still going through it. And this is getting worse and worse. So now I'm more into it and more into it. And it's just getting worse and worse and worse. So now I'm about 10 pounds in. I said, you know what? And I'm done. He said, well, I'm just throwing them in the garbage. I'm not wasting my time on this anymore. I could care. So I spent like 2 hours, fished through 10 pounds of cards. Didn't get anything. I got a few cards for autograph. Some cool looking, a couple of Danny Tartables, a few other cards. They're pretty cool. That I'm going to send out to try to get autographed. But I just took like the last 10 pounds and it just boom, went right into the garbage. And it was hilarious because Shasta was out in the driveway because she just got a new car and they're going over a new car. And she's looking at me like, what are you doing? I'm like, thumbs down. So not a single card. So I fished through 10 pounds, which would be a couple thousand cards.
1,800 cards, we figured.
Nothing. I mean, nothing. And I don't even know.
A bunch of 90 Fleer.
It was all, it was just garbage. Yeah, 90 Fleer. It was a bunch of 90s crap. I mean, and then like there was the Topps debut, 90 Topps debut. I'm like, oh, this is gonna be great. No, not even like freaking Joey Bell or anything, Albert Bell. It was terrible. It was completely picked through. So I took a big old 0 on that, and it was okay because I jumped right back on the horse the next day, and I know I scored a good pile. So I showed you those. So it's okay. We were doing the math. It happens about 3 and so I'm running about 95%, having at least something that I can say was worthwhile. But it was funny. I didn't even get mad. It was only $20, and it went to a good cause. So that's again when you take the money out of things. And you look at it for fun. So I just knew for me personally, like I had reached that law, the law of diminishing returns.
Mm-hmm.
I wasn't chasing that cheeseburger anymore. It was done. It was over.
And there's something to say. I mean, how long does it take you to go through a box like that? I mean, if you're
20 pounds, like 3-4 hours.
Yeah, it's time value of money too. I mean, there's infinite things you could be doing to spend your time more valuably. Yeah. I don't blame you. I would have probably been very discouraged and just launched them myself.
I was. I was kind of discouraged. I launched them. Yeah, they went right in the bin, and and I watched them rain out just to make sure that it wasn't somehow missing some little treasure trove, and it was all crap.
Now, do you put them when you put them in the bin? Do you put them in a box and like seal the box, or you just throw the?
I let them rain. I just let them rain.
Do you ever find them in the driveway when the trash?
I pick them up, put them back in the bin for next week. It's cool when you watch them go in the truck because they pick it up automatically, and it just like rains friggin' baseball cards, and it's pretty cool. Yeah. It's like because we don't have the fall season down. We don't watch the leaves or anything fall off the trees, so it's like I'm making a pile of leaves in the truck, and it's awesome. And I'm recycling, so. That's true. And a lot of people say, give them to the kids. No, I give good cards to the kids. I've shown when I go to school, I give my kids good cards. I would, people that say, "Oh, give them to the kids." All you're going to do is make a kid be like, "Why you give me this garbage?" If you're going to give cards to kids, give them something decent. That's what I try to do. So I do recycle them. I don't just, pitch them or throw them in the woods somewhere. I put them in the recycle bin, and then they get turned into something else. So
sure. Well, that's good. I'm glad that you've got some good tonnage coming because I hope so.
I need it.
I'm excited to see some more tonnage hits.
Yeah, it's been a bit, but
So,
that last box of tonnage before that, that was almost obscene how many hits I got out of that.
oh
So
yeah,
no
yeah.
complaints, no complaints.
Was that
So
the one with all the Galassos and everything
yeah,
in it?
we
Yeah,
saw what happened with them yesterday. Holy
yeah.
cow.
That created somewhat of a frenzy. That was fun
Rabid
to watch.
dogs, man. It's crazy. Yeah.
People, I got two. I think I got a
Yeah.
Campanella and a Musial, and I
Oh,
I
yeah, I got
felt
a
fortunate to
pile.
get those.
Yeah, I got a bunch for you. I still got a whole nother set. So yeah,
Oh, well,
yeah,
okay.
I'm good. I'm gonna keep
Out of
that
that
one.
tonnage?
Oh no, the tonnage. I had three. I ended up getting three sets out of the tonnage, and then I had one
Wow.
to begin with.
Okay. Well, good for
So
you. Good for you.
yeah,
That's great.
yeah, that
That's
was
great.
good.
That
Yeah,
yeah, that tonnage definitely paid off.
it did. And then the McGuire rookie was in there, the Bo Jackson, all that
Yeah.
stuff. So yeah, it definitely was a good box.
Good, good. Do you have anything you want to discuss this week? I got my rant off my
Oh,
chest.
I was
Anything?
just tallying in on your rants.
Yeah.
Not really, other than I'm excited for football to be coming. I'm looking forward to going to the game with you. I do think it's going to be the Bills and the Dolphins. I don't think that Aaron Rodgers is going to really be anything that great, but the Jets do have a good defense. So, I look at it, the Bills, the Dolphins being right there, 10, 11 wins each, and keep
Yeah.
battling out. And I do hope, I'm a Bills fan. I do hope Tua stays upright and healthy because you don't want to see that happen to anybody. And how
Yeah.
about that game yesterday? I was so jacked up watching the game, TCU in Colorado. It was
I
amazing.
didn't watch. I was doing my sale at the time, and I was
Yeah.
kind of focused on that. But you guys were talking about it. You and James were talking about it in a little group chat, and I had no idea you were that big into prime time.
Oh, I love Prime. He's yeah. I
He,
you know how I feel about anybody. It's not a Buffalo Bill, but Prime is an exception because he was just such a different athlete. And I remember
right.
in 1990, I was telling you this yesterday. The Falcons come in to play Buffalo, and all I want to do is see the Bills smoke the Falcons and Dion take one to the house.
Yeah.
And so we ended up winning. I think it was like 42-17. So mission accomplished. But the thing is, why I like Dion. So you're in Buffalo at that time. The stadium is 80,000 people. We're going to Super Bowls. We're kicking ass, and it's just boo. And he's out there doing dancing around, and it's just raining. F you, and he's doing this, waiting on the punt. And he's like, I can't hear you, and he's like going, come on. Come on, that's right.
Yeah.
And it's just rocking. And I'm like, come on, Dion. Take it to the house. Be the man. We're gonna win. I wanted to win, but I wanted to see this freaking yeah. And he's just like this, and he's like this, and he's dancing, and he's doing this thing. And I'm like, this is the greatest thing I've ever seen in my freaking life. So here comes the punt. Dion catches it at like the 13. Man, he's hot stepping into the end zone, baby. And I'm like, this is amazing. So that's when I said I appreciated Dion because he embraced the moment. People were booing him and going crazy and F you. And he's like, come on,
Yeah.
more.
Yeah.
And what did he do? He took that freaking punt, and they're down like 8, they're down at the time, like, I don't know, freaking 5 touchdowns. And it's like the fourth, but he didn't, he took it to the house and he danced his way in and he did his thing. And from that moment, I was a Dion fan.
Yeah.
And then as he progressed, I think he became more about Dion, and I kind of lost my interest. But then watching the show from Jackson State, Mrs. Ford turned me on to that, and I was like, yeah, that's still Dion, and it really struck me how humble he was. And the thing about watching that game yesterday, that team don't showboat. That team don't do anything but give the ball to the ref. That team is I have not seen a football team that talented and that good with a coach like that play that way. That's how I tried to be as a coach.
Yeah.
You just act like you've been there. And it was like an amazing
Well,
game, back and forth, incredible plays, 80-yard touchdowns, big plays. His kid throws for 500 yards, and it's like just another day. I loved it.
right.
I loved it.
Well, and I've known I'm a big Seminole fan, and I've followed Dion pretty much since he got to FSU. And so, I mean, he's going back to 84, 85, really. And he always he's got such swagger and such charisma. And for a while there, like you said, he kind of lost me a little bit. Dion, when he was bouncing around between Dallas and San Francisco in those years.
Yeah.
And to see him now, I'm gonna have to start watching because you know, I'll be honest. When he went to Jackson State, I thought it was for publicity and just kind of a sideshow. He's got no experience, but I mean, if he's flipping the entire roster, like I read yesterday, you know, he's brought back I think 10 out of 70 scholarship players, something like that, crazy, and he's beaten TCU already.
Yep.
That's something that could be a big story this year. So I might have to start paying attention to the
Yeah.
Colorado Buffaloes. And Florida State's ranked 2 in the top 10, which hasn't happened since like 2015. So I'm
Yeah,
pretty
it's
excited
good
about
for
that.
them. I hope Florida State's good. I like the Seminoles. I like the
Yeah.
culture of the program, and when they're good, it's good for. It's almost like the Yankees. It's good for college football when they're good.
Yeah. I
Especially
agree.
here in the state of Florida, because Miami will never be anything again. And you see, have some nice story, but it's not like when the Gators and the Seminoles. You know, you need the
Right.
Gators and the Seminoles to be good.
I
And
agree. I
you know,
agree. Get that
that's
rivalry back up where it was too. Because yeah,
exactly.
every Saturday after Thanksgiving, that was must see TV, and it hasn't been lately. So
Nah, they're just average, but
yeah,
this the Florida State was a lot better last year though. But the
yeah,
Gators are another story too. Oh my god, they just
right,
been like mediocre city.
yeah, yeah. You got any shout outs this week?
Shout outs everybody did my sale yesterday. Holy cow, thank you for that. Insanity. That was wild. A lot of names. Chris Frank
Yeah,
was in there as usual. Like I mention him every week. Our brother Chris Frank. Shasta Ford, thank you for all your hard work on the show. You keep us looking good. Our intro's cool. We got some stuff going on, little subtle things happening. Everybody that's been watching. And Mrs. Ford, my kids, Dane, Harley, everybody's been doing great. My kids at school, so that's about it,
yeah.
man. And you, brother, you always,
I,
yeah, man, you're always there for me. I really appreciate it. I'd struggle with some things, and I always appreciate you there lifting me up. It goes outside of baseball cards, football cards, all that stuff. You just seem to know when, man, I think about you sitting at that desk right now, about ready to just smack himself in the head. And I look, and there's a message from Greg, and
yeah,
it's awesome. So it does take a village, So I appreciate all your support too. So
absolutely,
yeah,
absolutely,
how
man.
about you,
It's
man?
yeah, I've got a couple of them, a couple of card related, and a couple of personal. And Andrew Carvata, he did the video for us from the show, and
Oh
he's
yeah,
yeah, that was a great video, man. Great video, Andrew. Really good and really well produced. And I guess he's got some experience doing that stuff, which I
it
didn't know. But
showed. Holy cow!
yeah, you could tell. You could tell. He's been on the lookout for me. I'm almost. I finished 1971 tops, and I'm almost done with 72. I need about 20, and he's been looking out and getting me some. So and very fair prices. So I appreciate that, Andrew. Duncan Harvey had a great 1972 sale last week. Still waiting on not on him. He's sent it, but the USPS is dragging their feet.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
then really want to give a shout out to my wife. I haven't done that yet, but she's my just her in general. She's a great woman, and her organizational skills over the last few weeks have really kind of helped me with my card room. And I'm gonna take picture of it and show everybody when it's done, but it's really coming along. And she got me some shelving and built me a desk and did all kinds of crazy stuff. So I love her, and I don't say that enough here on this, but it's always good to have a good support system. So shout out to you, Mark. I can always kind of tell when you're not quite feeling it.
yeah,
I'll reach out to you because I can tell. So and it's weird how you can
yeah.
tell that. But I'll come see you at school next week. I've got a
Yeah, I'm
nice
looking
little package
forward to
for you.
it. I'll give you the tour, man.
Yeah,
You'll be impressed. You'll walk in my room and be like, "This is all right, man. This
that's
is high
cool. But
school." But
yeah, well, I'll be
yeah,
down there at our monthly Orlando trip next weekend,
yeah.
or the end of next week. So this
I
week,
look
actually.
forward to it. And the kids would like to see
Yeah,
you too, because I do talk about you in the room and use you as a reference point, and I do put the show up once in a while, so they know who you are. So they'll be, "Oh my God, that's the guy from the show." So,
absolutely.
but yeah,
Let's
and
go.
about your wife, that's awesome too, because my Mrs. Ford, I mean, we're here, we are at our stage in life. We're playing with our cardboard and our toys.
Yeah, yeah.
It's like they're supporting us.
Well, exactly. And I always think, there's far worse things we could be doing with our midlife life period than there is now.
Hmm.
So, she's come to embrace it a little bit more. and wasn't real sure what to think at first, but I think now she kind of gets it. So
Yeah, well, it doesn't cost us any money because we're running it even or on the plus side of the ledger, so that's good.
absolutely. Yeah, it wouldn't be any fun worth doing if you were losing money. That would be kind of
No, I mean, Jesus, I mean, I could get these fistful of Buffalo Bills cards every week,
but yes. So to Jennifer, I love you, sweetheart, and we'll see you next week. We'll see you next week, Mark.
All right, thank you. Then that'll be it for us. Everybody have a good day off if you're off tomorrow. And that it's not like a traditional like rah rah raise the flag holiday, but hey, we all work hard, we all labor. That's what makes America great. So yeah, I do respect everybody. If you're digging a ditch, or you're a doctor or a lawyer, or you're whoever, whatever you do, you all contribute to this great country that keeps on rolling somehow. So everybody have a good weekend. Greg, thank you. You have a good rest of your weekend, and I look forward to seeing you at school this week.
All right, man. You too, Mark, and have a good Labor Day, and go Noles.
Yeah, go Noles. Let's go. To hell with LSU. All right. Thank you, everybody.
Bye, everybody.